Auburn Blitz is now on the air. Your daily look into what's happening in Auburn athletics. With your host, Andy Graham, Brett Pritchard, Randy Lee, War Eagle.
Hello again, everyone, and good Wednesday afternoon. Welcome into the latest edition of the Auburn Blitz. I am Andy Graham alongside Jeremy Jeffcoat. We'll be with you for the next hour. As always, taking your comments, taking your phone calls, talking about everything going on in the world of Auburn athletics and a little beyond. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us today. JJ, good to see you. Got a lot going on. As obviously, the conference championships are set or have been played. The college football playoff now is set. Transfer portal is open. It opened.
And fill it up quickly.
And filling up quite quickly. It opened up to December 4th. It'll be open, I think, for about a month now, or at least till January the 3rd. So guys got a lot of time to figure that out. Coaches got time to have anxiety about who's leaving, trying to recruit their own players to come back. So a lot going on. Auburn is in that as well. Some guys have already entered the portal. Auburn has offered quite a few other guys what they're looking at. We'll kind of dive into that a little bit today. We got some high school football tonight. Central Phoenix City and Thompson for the 7A championship. This is a game that's been played quite a few times here in the last probably 10 years, I guess, going back. But I think Phoenix City won the first one, I know. But I think Thompson's won every one since then.
I know that the recruiting analysts that I've talked to will tell you that to give Central Phoenix City maybe a slight edge in overall talent. However, I mean, Trent Seaborn's the real deal. He may be a ninth grader, but he's the real deal. And if you get a hot quarterback, you can do just about anything.
That's true, for sure. So that one's 7 o'clock tonight. You can check that on the AHSAA radio network. I believe it's going to be on WOTM as well.
Well, it's going to be on Alabama Public Television.
Alabama Public Television.
WOTM, right?
Okay.
I think that's right.
Okay. I'll take that. So coaching carousel, quite a few names out there, quite a few hires here in the last few days, so we might brush on that if we have time.
I love coaching carousel time. Yeah. So interesting.
It is. You know, this year, not a lot. When you look down through there, and I was, just noticing, not nearly as many big names as far as schools this year making changes, but a lot of changes being made of those middling teams.
Yeah,
those
well,
teams
I think you could will make the argument that Texas A&M is the most premier job that opened.
No question. I think that's absolutely true. So, as always, we'd love to hear from you, 256-234-6221.
But hold the phone on that because we may not be through with high-profile openings.
There may be one or two out there. You never know.
Yeah.
So, here's an interesting story though that came out yesterday, and we'll just start with this today because it affects really all of college football and it affects the transfer portal and everything else. So, new president of the NCAA, Charlie Baker, proposes new rule changes that would allow Division I schools for the first time to pay their athletes in ways that are not tied to educational resources. Baker shared the proposal changes in a letter sent to member schools. If the Division I school chooses to adopt these rules, they have to, obviously they'll vote on this, I guess, or whatever. they would be allowed to enter into name, image, and likeness deals directly with the athletes. The new rules would also create a new subdivision of Division I schools that would be allowed to create its own set of rules for recruiting, transfers, roster size, and a wide range of other policies. To be part of that subdivision, each school would have to put up millions of dollars each year into a trust fund for athletes. So schools in the new highest paid subdivision would be required to set aside a minimum of $30,000 per athlete for at least half of their athletes on an annual basis. That money is ostensibly to help athletes continue educational pursuits during the summer or after their careers, but there would be no requirements for how they would spend it. Schools could choose to provide more money to each athlete or provide money to more athletes in their school. It would also be left up to the individual schools to decide when they share that money with the athletes. The NCAA doesn't intend to require that an athlete finish his or her degree before they get the access to that money. And, of course, it ties in to Title IX as well. The new policy would help gender equity because the newly developed trust fund would also be required to follow Title IX law by equally distributing the money to men and women. Any NIL payments made from schools to their athletes would also be subject to Title IX rules. Now, schools are already paying the athletes NIL. We just don't call it that.
The schools are not.
Well, no. The schools are, yes, they are. We just don't call it that now through recruiting and whatnot. So, but what do you think about this?
I think it's 30 years too late. I don't think we would have the NIL problems we had today. There was some talk 30 years ago, if we all kind of take our memory banks back.
Yeah.
About the major conferences splitting off into their own division. Mm-hmm. I think at the time the talk was around 64 teams, right? And you had 4 super conferences of 16. That was kind of the plan that was talked about 30 years ago. I think if you did that, created trust funds for the athletes and a way for the athletes to share in the revenue of college football as it's grown, you probably wouldn't have the NIL Wild West that you have today.
No doubt.
Because there would be, in these court cases that have developed over the years, there would be an argument, hey, we're compensating, we're profit sharing, right? And so you could do that. Now, as far as getting off in the weeds of the Title IX stuff, I don't know. That's for courts to handle and schools to decide on. But I think it's the first proposal I've heard that has some sort of glare of maybe putting some structure to this thing. So, and that in and of itself makes it a good thing. Is it the best plan? I have no idea. But I think there's got to be some plans.
Yeah. Oh, well, there's some plans, but now, this is coming from the NCAA. That's one of the things that's completely new. That's a total turn of what they have stood for as long as the NCAA has existed. You can't pay athletes, so this is a way to say to the school, okay, this is how we could do this. How many teams would be able to be a part of that subdivision?
More than you think.
Luke and I were talking about last night. Apparently, there's some bill that's being put forward that's wanting to create basically the same thing. That there's some kind of, but in order to be in this top level of college football, you got to generate at least $100 million in your athletic department, and that would be I think it was somewhere around 40 something schools. But you'd be surprised. I mean, there was a lot of them. I mean, West Virginia, I think Oklahoma State, maybe Oklahoma State was on the border. But there was, quite a few schools that are in the Power Five now that would not be in that top level group. So, this seems to be where we're headed with this kind of breaking off and having that top level.
Does it feel like we're headed towards a time where the Big Ten and the SEC basically become the NFC and the AFC?
It's headed that way.
And you play under that flag, divisions within, championship at the end.
Yeah. I mean, the interesting thing about this is, that if this allows these group of schools, which would be the top level, obviously, and he throws that in there to create their own rules for recruiting, transfers, roster size, and wide range of that's. I mean, basically in NFL, you decide, everything about your structure, yeah.
But so it becomes a league, right? So, we're going to say, okay, is 85 enough, right?
Yeah.
And there's been
is
some
it
talk
too many?
about that. Or is it too many? I mean, NFL teams play with 53, but they have practice squads and and other things too. So, all of that I think is up for debate. I think the changes from NIL and the transfer portal, as I've said before, the rules are what the rules are, but you've got to bring some structure to it at some point.
Up against our first break here. I'd love to hear from you. 256-234-6221. We'll be right back with more right after this.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area a team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Heritage South Credit Union in Alexander City is your community credit union, and they have been for over 80 years. Heritage South Credit Union proudly serves Tallapoosa, Coosa, Lee, Chambers, Randolph, and Chilton counties. From checking to business accounts, to share savings to club accounts, to their kids club and investments. Visit them online at myhscu.com. Heritage South Credit Union, your community credit union for 80 years. Federally insured by NCUA.
When you need an automotive hero, you got to call S&S Discount Tire Pros. With locations in Alexander City and Dayville, we are here to serve you today. From quick services like oil changes and tire rotations to in-depth automotive repairs such as suspensions, brakes, and tune-ups, S&S can take care of all your tire needs. You just have to focus on what's important and love the drive. Call S&S Discount Tire Pros today. We are automotive heroes, and we are here to serve you.
WOTM is the television provider for all Alabama High School Athletic Association championship events and special programs. WOTM is your home for the Super 7 football, state finals basketball, baseball and softball state championships, the AHSAA weekly show, and WOTM also produced the first ever football playoff show, Super 7 preview show, and reclassification reveal show. Your exclusive home for all things AHSAA is WOTM. Contact your local cable provider to request WOTM to your channel lineup.
Whether it's Lake Martin, Lay Lake, or Logan Martin, boaters from all over the state of Alabama come to Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama, because it's worth the drive. With the best deals on unbeatable Suzuki outboards, Manitou and Landau tri-tunes, and a great pre-owned inventory while they last. Alex City Marine is the pros the locals know. And no matter where you're from, when you're here, you're local to us. Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama. AlexCityMarine.com.
Russell Do-It Center and building supply stores have the tools and materials to get the job done right, whether you're a professional contractor or just a weekend do-it-yourselfer. With everyday customer conveniences like a drive-through lumberyard, price match promise, and our best rewards program, each of our 9 locations offer top brands and building materials like lumber, hardware, tools, paint, lawn and garden, and much more. Visit today and see what Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply can help you build tomorrow.
Let's get serious. Let's get Arctic Air serious. You want your car and truck to live longer, don't you? Well, it's about maintenance. Same thing with Arctic Air. You see the number at the bottom of the screen? Call them right now. Let me tell you something. You want to be comfortable? We all want to be comfortable.
Here's an important notice for business owners from Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC in Opelika. Purchase a new vehicle, get a new tax deduction. You may be able to immediately write off up to 100% of the full purchase price of eligible new Chevrolet and GMC vehicles purchased this year for business use. You could write off 100%. This offer ends December 31st. You must act now. Thousands of dollars in discounts right now at Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC. Business owners, get ready to smile.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and JJ here with you. About 45 more minutes left in today's show. Brought to you each and every day by J.A. Smith Construction and Excavation. No job is too big. No job is too small. Go and check them out for all of your excavation and construction needs. 334-531-0199. Also, Central Alabama Community College, great place to get a great education right here in Central Alabama. Got campuses in Alexander City, Childersburg, Talladega, and Prattville. Finally, Russell Do-It Center. Great place to get your home decor, tools, building supplies, whatever it might be. They got a little bit of everything there, and they got 9 locations around Central Alabama. So there's one convenient for you. Go and check them out. You'll be glad that you did. They can beat the big box store. Let's go to the phone line, JJ.
All right.
We got James. You're on the Auburn Blitz.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Hey, James.
Pretty good. How about you?
Man, what is going on with this game? They, for me, man, me personally, they are destroying this game for me. As far as the transfer portal, you don't get the chance to know the players on your teams no more. They have no relationship. When they come back to your school, who are you, man? Who are you? Oh, I played 1 year. I can transfer from wherever. I can transfer from Alabama to Auburn, Florida State to Miami. And then now the president coming out with this junk. And then I read also, Andy, he says the school is allowed to pay whatever they want to pay to different players. So it won't be across the board whatever each player gets. The quarterback might get whatever, and then they just, if the school decide to pay the running back or the defensive lineman something different. Man, why don't they just make these guys employed? Because to me, man, I know they going to these 2 conferences. And what about the little guys? What about the other schools, man? What are we doing?
It's all changing, James. There's no question about that. It's changing.
You know, like I said, I love the game, but this is turning me off a great deal, man. This is a sad day that our game done got like this year, and I know it gonna recover because you finna have more kids get in the sports because you can make more money now. Now that we can start even paying the little high school players, man. What is going on? But anyway, they just might as well, like you guys say, make it a NFL thing. Make them employed. Don't let them go to school no more. Because all these guys transferring, they can't be all eligible to be playing at these schools. They hurting the junior college. They hurting the high school kids from coming in. In other words, man, in my opinion, it doesn't turn me on because I don't know nobody at Auburn no more. So I'm quite sure JJ don't hardly know the players at Alabama no more. But anyway, I mean, I'm saying the people that transferring in and out. But anyway, guys, it's just bad, man. It's just bad to me. But anyway, thank you.
Appreciate it. I feel kind of the same way. I mean, it is not the same sport that it used to be. I mean, but I will say that the only way to get a hold of it, to get back to maybe having some of those players stay around, is to move forward and try to, like you said, bring some structure to it. So maybe you can have, I mean.
Let me say this, though. And I understand, for those of us who grew up hardcore college football fans, I'm talking about you knew who the kids were, the 25 that were coming in. You kept up with them for 2 or 3 years, watched their development.
Sure.
How are they coming along? Will they be a starter next year? For us hardcores, yeah, it takes away that, maybe a bit of that, right? Because you don't know if they're going to be there or not. At the same time, the quality of the product on the field is pretty dadgum good. That Alabama-Georgia game had record television ratings the other night. Alabama-Michigan in that first-round game is going to have record TV ratings. It's going to blow it out of the water. So for the casual fan that maybe is not quite as emotionally invested as those of us who grew up hardcore on the sport,
or went to these schools.
Yeah, you're getting a great product to watch on television, you know.
Yeah.
Something to keep in mind.
It is. I mean, it's a. I mean, change is different.
Free agency was the
nobody
same way
likes
in the
change.
NFL.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody would argue that free agency shouldn't exist in the NFL, right? Because the players should be able to capitalize on their talent and their ability, and if the team that's with them won't pay them what they believe they're worth, then another team will. But it hasn't been that long ago that you couldn't do that.
No.
A team drafted you, and they just owned you, and they kept you for the price they wanted you for however long they wanted you, and that's the way it was. So collective bargaining and, free agency and all that sort of salary cap eventually, all sort of balance that out. And I think you're going to get some form of that in the college game too.
How the thing that ties it all together, this all started with colleges, having teams. You went to college to get an education, and you played football on the side. Now football has become so how does it become? I mean, when does it just break away from the college institutions altogether?
Yeah.
The educational, even the farce of it being about education altogether.
To be fair, you hadn't played football on the side in about 60 years.
No. Certainly not. But it was still tied into that. You had to go to class. You actually had to do these kind of things. I wonder when it just becomes a minor league NFL and divested from the college.
Already.
Yeah.
When was the last time you heard of somebody being academically ineligible, Andy?
It's been a while.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
But I'm a fan of Auburn, and I think that's what James is saying. We're a fan of Auburn. You're a fan of Alabama. When it becomes, a separate from that, do we go back to, I don't know. It just seems like it's weird. I can't see a future product that I recognize, I guess. That's maybe what it is. All right, we got to take another break. We'll be back with more right after these messages.
L&G Ad Agency is the go-to vendor for all your digital and print marketing needs. We have in-house production for all projects, including graphic design, web design, social media marketing, videography, and print marketing. Our video production is up to industry standard with modern 4K cameras and drone capabilities. We pride ourselves in client-committed relationships, and every project is personalized to your needs. Visit lmgadagency.com for a free quote today. Let us tell your story.
Lake Martin Garage, located on Highway 280 in Jackson's Gap, has been serving our area since 1993. From routine maintenance such as oil changes, tune-ups, and rotating and balancing your tires, to transmission and engine repair, our trained and certified mechanics will get you back on the road better than before. Need a tow? With a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week towing service, Lake Martin Garage has local and long-range pickup. Trust your vehicle needs to the professionals at Lake Martin Garage. Call 256-825-6139, or better yet, stop in and see them today. Lake Martin Garage.
What's the verdict?
Can't fix your heat pump. Need a new one.
Uh-oh. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Daikin.
Call on Kevin Kill in Sunshine Heating and Air at 256-825-4849, Central Alabama's premier Daikin dealer.
So what's he thinking?
Oh, he's thinking Daikin.
Daikin, one of the top selling in the world.
Now I'm thinking Daikin.
Daikin. Comfort for life.
Passion, the obsession that burns within. Determination, the burning desire to make it. Drive, the motivation to be the absolute best. Skills, the tools to perform at the highest level. Excellence, the feeling of achievement. At Central Alabama Community College, you can release your passion, show your determination, display your drive, and showcase your skills to achieve excellence. Central Alabama Community College, central to you, central to your success.
Frontline Outfitters provides all your aftermarket parts for your cars, trucks, and as well as your professional tinting solutions for auto, residential, and commercial buildings. Frontline Outfitters also handles vinyl wraps, spray-in bed liners, truck accessories, LED lighting, paint correction and detailing, and much more. Make sure Frontline Outfitters of Alexander City is your first call for tinting and aftermarket solutions. Call us today, 256-409-8100.
Lee Apparel is your go-to vendor for screen printed and embroidered apparel and promotional products. We print and embroider free custom-made graphics or outsourced designs on everything from t-shirts, headwear, corporate wear, team sportswear, high-end safety apparel, and promotional products. At Lee Apparel, you can always expect quick turnaround time, competitive pricing, friendly customer service, and free in-hands delivery on all orders. Visit us at leeapparel.com to get started.
Lake Martin Mobile Detailing is the #1 auto and boat detailing company in Central Alabama. Don't trust your boat or vehicle to just anybody. Hire the professionals. Top-of-the-line ceramic coating, detailing, gel coat restoration, and paint correction gives you the options to take care of your vehicle the right way. Located at 702 McCarty Road in Dadeville, Lake Martin Mobile Detailing will have you riding in style. Call them today at 256-794-2328 for Superior Automotive and Boat Detailing.
J.A. Smith Construction is your trusted choice for construction site clearing and grading for new home construction, underground utilities and site work, concrete paving, storm drain installation, fish ponds, and slough dredging. No job is too big or too small. Call Alexander at J.A. Smith Construction at 256-896-1400 or email asmith@jasmithconstruct.com. J.A. Smith Construction, your trusted choice for construction.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and JJ here with you. About 30 more minutes left in today's program. Get your call in, 256-234-6221. We'll go back to the phone line.
All right.
Hey, Terry, you're on the Auburn Blitz.
Hey, Andy. Hey, JD. How are y'all doing today?
Hey, bud.
Great, man. How about you?
Pretty good, pretty good. Andy, if you've already covered this, my apologies, but what is the portal like? Have Auburn actually offered somebody?
Has Auburn offered anybody from the portal?
Yes.
Yes.
12 at least.
About 12.
Okay, okay. So I missed the beginning of the show, and you probably touched on it, and I didn't catch it. So
I had
The
named.
thing about it is it's not made public unless the player makes it public, but there have been 12 that we know of so far, players who have publicly said that they have an offer from Auburn.
And guys, did I see it correctly that that the quarterback from Ohio State entered the portal?
He did.
Yes.
That's a little surprising.
Yes, it is.
That's a little surprising. I mean, we all know Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to be a very, very, very rich young man this time next year. because he's going to go to the NFL. But that's maybe that's the reason. He's going to lose that guy. So I don't know. That's really shocking to me. Now, I also heard that the quarterback out of Washington State had been offered multiple NIL deals.
Oh yeah, he's gonna Cam Ward's gonna have some nice offers out there.
Well, I hate to break it to him, but they play defense around the country. You might want to stay out in the Pac-10.
Well,
Pac-12,
there is no Pac-12. That's the problem. Yeah. If he stays at Washington State, he's got no conference, no home. He's part of that Oregon State, Washington State, Stanford, Cal group that don't have a home.
Don't have a home and don't play defense, which is what USC is going to find out when they get to the Big Ten.
I think they found that out this year.
Because doesn't Lincoln Riley, is that the same song, different dance?
Yeah,
yes.
Same dance, different song. I don't know how.
I think a little bit of the shine's off Lincoln Riley for sure.
He same thing in Oklahoma. He outscored everybody. He beat everybody 55-35.
Yeah.
So, okay, appreciate it, guys.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it, Terry. Yeah, look, Dylan Gabriel transferring in the portal, leaving Oklahoma. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, Washington State and Oregon State still two schools without a home at this point. What are they going to do next year? Are they going to go independent? Can they go independent? I mean, if BYU did for a while, I guess they could. Yeah. But I think in Stanford, Cal, and who is it? Stanford, Cal, and somebody
Oregon
go
State,
into the ACC.
Maybe so.
I think so. So I think they can go.
Well, that's not really going to help that strength of schedule for Florida State very much.
No, probably not. I wouldn't think. Terry brought it up. Yeah, some guys that Auburn does have offers out for. On the defensive line, Nate Clifton from Vanderbilt, Derek Harmon from Michigan State are two guys that Auburn has been interested in. On the offensive line, Alan Herron from Shorter, offensive lineman Easton Kelly from North Dakota, guard Garquan Scott from Southern Miss. I think that's the one that they're the most interested in. Fernando Carmona from San Jose State. A couple of wide receivers as Omari Kelly, Jair Shorter, and Malcolm Johnson have entered the portal. Will Shepard from Vanderbilt. There again, there are guys leaving Vanderbilt, JJ. I mean, I think every quarterback that they had on the rosters left is in the portal. I mean, they just flock out of there now, and I don't know. I mean, I don't know what you want from a coach at Vanderbilt. I mean, I don't know what you deem success now at Vanderbilt if you're the coach there. It's just, I mean,
a bowl game.
I'm not sure 5 wins isn't success. I mean, my goodness, when you're having to deal with this, he's got no chance, really. Robert Lewis, another wide receiver from Georgia State. Couple of cornerbacks, Ethan Robinson from Bucknell, Will Lee from Kansas State, linebacker Chris Paul from Arkansas. That would be a very interesting one. And possibly an edge rusher, Kyle Kennard from Georgia Tech. So those are just some of the guys those are the offers that are out there that are, like JJ said, are officially the player has said they have an offer from Auburn. Guys in the portal, Steven Johnson, Enos Sledge, Omari Kelly. Enos Sledge, that's unofficially. He said he was going to enter, but I don't know if he's officially entered yet. But Omari Kelly, Malcolm Johnson, Jair Shorter, and Steven Sings, the outside linebacker that came from Liberty to Auburn last year. So, James brought this up the other day. I mean, this is a part of the life. You bring in a recruiting class, but, I mean, you're going to the portal for about, 10 or 15 guys every year now, it seems like.
But listen, right now Auburn's got 6 that are gone.
Yeah.
Look, losing 5 to 10 guys off a roster every year, it's really nothing new.
True.
In high-level college football for the last really 20, 25 years, you've had guys who, for whatever reason, the career hadn't worked out, or medical reasons, or playing time reasons, or whatever, decide that they need to pursue somewhere else. So.
And you look at this list and you combine it, and Auburn's losing about 0.5% of production.
Right.
I mean, so it's the guys that aren't playing for right now.
I think what Hugh Freeze is really trying to do, just based on the list that we have, I have no doubt that if there was an impact guy, he would want him. But it's about depth pieces, right? It's about
cherry pick.
We heard him talk all year about not having enough depth in the front 7. So and depth on the offensive line, you can never have enough of.
True. Got to take another break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more right after this.
"76% of nurses say they went into the profession because they wanted to help patients. No matter the reason you decided to become a nurse, you have all the tools needed to advance your degree at Jacksonville State University. Our Master's in Nursing program is now offered fully online and can be completed in less than 2 years. You can customize a flexible course schedule so you can receive your advanced education degree all while working on the front line. JSU Nursing, your opportunity to advance your career and serve your community."
At C&T Electric, our clients are our priority. For the safety and security of your family and home, our technicians are professionally trained, drug tested, background checked, and wear uniforms with name tags. We're proud to have served the Elk City, Dadeville, and Lake Martin areas for the past 10 years. Give us a call at 256-234-0007 for all your electrical service and repair needs, or visit us on the web at www.cntelectricllc.com and spell out the word "and."
WOTM is the television provider for all Alabama High School Athletic Association championship events and special programs. WOTM is your home for the Super 7 football, state finals basketball, baseball and softball state championships, the AHSAA weekly show, and WOTM also produced the first ever football playoff show, Super 7 preview show, and reclassification reveal show. Your exclusive home for all things AHSAA is WOTM. Contact your local cable provider to request WOTM to your channel lineup.
Something big is coming. Something so big, it'll change the world of chicken sandwiches. Zaxby's new signature sandwich with Zax sauce or new spicy Zax sauce, because the chicken sandwich war ain't over yet. The new signature sandwich. All the other little sandwiches can run along. We'll take it from here.
Lay your best to rest. Call the best. Lewis Pest Control.
Lewis Pest Control is now serving Alexander City and the entire Lake Martin area. They've been family owned and operated for over 60 years. Whether it's residential, commercial, or industrial, Lewis has environmentally safe products for all your pest control needs. Lewis Pest Control.
Lay your best to rest. Call the best. Lewis Pest Control.
Russell Do-It Center and building supply stores have the tools and materials to get the job done right, whether you're a professional contractor or just a weekend do-it-yourselfer. With everyday customer conveniences like a drive-through lumberyard, price match promise, and our best rewards program, each of our 9 locations offer top brands and building materials like lumber, hardware, tools, paint, lawn and garden, and much more. Visit today and see what Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply can help you build tomorrow.
Bucks Island is your boating headquarters. Are you ready to hit the water and go boating this summer? Bucks Island has all kinds of boats, with one sure to fit exactly what you want. Fishing boats, sport boats, pontoon boats, and all with low monthly payments. Call 1-800-I'm-READY. Bucks Island Service Department experts are also here for you to keep your boat in top running condition. Call 1-800-I'm-READY. Don't be left standing on the bank this summer. Visit online at bucksisland.com and don't buy a boat till you get a Bucks quote.
Lake Area Realty specializes in Lake Martin real estate. They can help simplify your next real estate purchase or sell and have helped many home buyers and sellers through the area buy and sell real estate with precision. Lake Area Realty utilizes powerful marketing tools and knowledge of the lake to help you with your next move. Call your local hometown agency today. Lake Area Realty at 256-825-4800. That's 256-825-4800. Lake Area Realty, helping you find your way home.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and JJ here with you. Just a couple of more segments left in today's show. Again, brought to you by Russell Dewitt Center, J.A. Smith Construction and Excavation, and Central Alabama Community College. The coaching carousel, JJ. Again, you look down through here, and it's just a lot of names. I mean, Boise State, Mississippi State, San Diego State, Syracuse, Oregon State, New Mexico, Indiana, Houston, Utah. I mean, some good jobs, but not a lot of great jobs. I mean, the Texas A&M job, you know, that one was the one that Michigan State. But Michigan State, you know, they go out and get Jonathan Smith from Oregon State. I think that's a pretty good hire for them.
I think it's a great hire for them. Jonathan Smith was a quarterback at Oregon State. He's an alum. That's home to him. But with the realignment in the conference, he had to take that opportunity.
Yeah. I mean, literally, Oregon State's saying, we may not even have football.
Right.
Because I think they're the ones that they said, we can't go independent.
He's probably the closest thing to a splash hire in this cycle.
Maybe so. Mike Elko, you didn't think that was a big splash, huh?
I mean, no. He's been at Duke for 2 years. He's done a nice job.
Yeah.
I think it might have been a familiarity thing. Of course, he was there as the defensive coordinator for 3 years. He was very popular at A&M as the defensive coordinator. So sometimes that familiarity, can put you there. And I think Elko's a good, or at least he seems to be. It's early, but he seems to be a good program guy, right? Building a program, which is really what A&M needs. A&M doesn't need a play caller. A&M needs somebody who can build and develop a program.
Yeah, I think that's probably true. You look at it, a lot of these teams have hired assistants. Not a lot, like you said. I mean, not a lot of going out and getting that big splash hire from the coaches. Northwestern, they hired David Braun, their offensive coordinator. Boise State hired their defensive coordinator. Oklahoma, Jeff Levy goes to Mississippi State.
That's good.
How would you think you like that one?
That was one of the names that popped in my head earlier.
Isn't that hiring Mike Leach light?
It is, but they like Mike Leach.
Yeah, okay.
But with Levy and Kendall Briles, that younger generation of air raid guys, that they do actually have something of a running game in that offense there, and they use it, quite frequently. So
right.
Those were the two names. As soon as Mississippi State came open, that popped in my head were Jeff Levy and Kendall Briles.
You brought it up. We talked about Dylan Gabriel transferring entering the portal from Ohio State. From Oklahoma, he could end up, who knows, if he liked Jeff Levy, the offensive coordinator at Oklahoma, maybe he ends up at Mississippi State. Wouldn't that be odd for a quarterback to leave Oklahoma to go to Mississippi State? Yeah. But, hey, it's a brave new world, right?
It is.
Some of the interesting Bronco Mendenhall back in coaching. Looks like he's taking the New Mexico job. Derek Mason back in the coaching ranks. Apparently he, I think, is going to be hired by Middle Tennessee today, I think. That's what that was. Willie Fritz, been a really good job at Tulane.
Yeah.
Made them a actual contender. Looks like he's going to Houston to replace Dana Holgerson. Then James Madison, the coach there, I think they won FCS title maybe a couple of years ago, and now they got bumped up to Division I, and he gets the job in Indiana.
Yeah.
Kirk Cignetti.
Yeah. He spent some time in the state.
Yeah. So Georgia loses their defensive back coach. He's going to Syracuse, Fran Brown.
Yeah. Has a history in that area.
Okay.
Has a history with Syracuse before he, got down to Georgia. He's not a lifelong SEC guy or anything.
Yeah. Now, wasn't Sean Lewis the guy that Deion Sanders demoted at offensive coordinator?
Yes.
And he gets the San Diego State job when Brady Hoke retires. So
Brady Hoke. I forgot he was still around.
Well, he's not anymore.
Not anymore.
Yeah, he kind of popped back up after it seems like a lifetime ago that he was the Michigan coach.
Yeah.
And they actually had a pretty good year. I think they won 10 games, and then they just kind of fell off the map. But,
yes.
There's still some jobs open out there. James Madison, Nevada, and Tulane still open, and Duke still open.
Duke is still open, yes.
Duke is an interesting job, I guess. Mike Elko showed that you can win in the ACC there for sure. And,
yeah, I mean, he lost 5 this year and 4 last year, something like that. So, I mean, it's bowl eligible, decent seasons.
Yeah, we'll see. But you said you think there might be a job or two open or coming open.
I'm
you
just
think?
saying there could be.
Could be.
Let me throw this at you. There are going to be several really good NFL jobs that come open this year.
A lot of talk about Jim
missed
Harbaugh.
6 games this year, fighting with the NCAA and then fighting with the Big Ten. It's very well known that he was highly upset when Michigan decided not to challenge the 3-game suspension at the end of the year. They said, fine, we'll fire this guy, serve the 3-game suspension. Pretty well known.
Just to make this go away.
He was not happy about that. Chicago very well may come open. It's his town. It's where he played. Las Vegas, tons of resources. They're open. There are landing spots for Jim Harbaugh, and all of the 4 or 5 NFL jobs are going to be open are going to want to talk to Jim Harbaugh. And then I'm gonna throw this one out there, Andy, because it's just something that could happen.
Okay.
If you're Nick Saban and you take a team that most people thought was a 3 or 4 loss team, you got him to an SEC championship and a playoff berth, then let's just say that you beat Michigan. Maybe you get revenge on Texas. And you win a ring with this team, it would by far, I think, would be your greatest season as a head coach in terms of accomplishment with what you have.
And there's a avenue for a ride off into the sunset.
Then you say, South Florida's calling, and it's been awesome, but I don't know if it's going to get any better than that. Remember, he made a comment at the very start of his press conference after the Georgia game. Reporter asked him, they said, you said earlier this year this team was taking years off your life. How do you feel today? He said, do you know how tired I am? Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen.
Interesting.
I'm just,
Just speculate.
It's something to keep
Just
in the back of your mind.
speculation.
If it does happen, remember old Jay.
One final segment right after these messages.
The interstate is backed up this morning due to an accident.
So you don't like sitting still on the interstate? Get the free ALGO traffic app. With ALGO, you'll have the information you need to avoid problems on your route, to work, to home, to the beach. Traffic backups, wrecks, lane closures, all with current info and live traffic camera feeds. Know before you go with ALGO Traffic, ALGO Traffic from the Alabama Department of Transportation. Get it today and arrive on time.
J.A. Smith Construction is your trusted choice for construction site clearing and grading for new home construction, underground utilities and site work, concrete paving, storm drain installation, fish ponds, and slough dredging. No job is too big or too small. Call Alexander at J.A. Smith Construction at 256-896-1400 or email asmith@jasmithconstruct.com. J.A. Smith Construction, your trusted choice for construction.
SignSource is your local vendor for commercial and residential sign manufacturing and installation. We offer all kinds of lighted and non-lighted signage, from retail signs, LED message centers, event banners, vehicle wraps, the whole spectrum. We also offer service and repair on existing signs, as well as retrofitting to LED or installation of outsourced signage. We have the knowledge necessary to fulfill all of your signage needs in the short or long term. Visit signsourcenow.com to get started.
EnviroCare is the standard in East Central Alabama for all your pest control and termite needs. EnviroCare exclusively offers Centricon termite colony elimination system that is the industry's most effective termite control to protect your home year-round. The EnviroCare team's service is also the standard for our customers. From eliminating home pests to superior termite control, nobody cares like EnviroCare, serving Lake Martin and East Central Alabama.
Chick-fil-A is always the best option when you're on the go, but they are also great when it comes to planning your next event. From tailgating to birthday parties to weddings. Call Chick-fil-A Alexander City at 256-289-7955 for catering or order on the Chick-fil-A app. Make sure to choose the Alexander City location and have your catering order ready to go. Nugget trays, mac and cheese trays, fruit trays, cookie trays, gallons of our famous lemonade or tea, and chilled grilled chicken sub sandwiches, and a lot more options. Make it Chick-fil-A Alexander City for your next event.
Folks around these parts have known for a long time that Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280, is your #1 stop for automotive service and repair. At Walls Tire, you'll always find quality service at a fair price on everything from AC, name brand tires, big or small repairs, routine maintenance, towing, and more. When your car or truck needs to run right, there's one place in the area to go, conveniently located and easy to find. Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280.
Passion, the obsession that burns within. Determination, the burning desire to make it. Drive, the motivation to be the absolute best. Skills, the tools to perform at the highest level. Excellence, the feeling of achievement. At Central Alabama Community College, you can release your passion, show your determination, display your drive, and showcase your skills to achieve excellence. Central Alabama Community College, central to you, central to your success.
For more than 40 years, Ingram Equipment Company has helped companies, towns, and cities with their dirtiest, most challenging jobs by providing the very best equipment and by helping them keep in tip-top working condition. IEC represents leading manufacturers such as Heil garbage truck bodies, Timco sweepers, Step pothole patchers, and many more. We proudly support all athletes and teams that compete across the state and wish them good luck this year. Ingram Equipment Company, ingramequipment.net.
Welcome back, everyone, to the final segment of the Auburn Blitz on this Wednesday afternoon. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us today. Super 7 tonight, again, Central Phoenix City versus Thompson. Doesn't get a lot better than that in high school football in the state of Alabama. Two powerhouses. They have gone at it again several times in the championship games. It should be a really, really good game. These are two evenly matched teams, tremendous talent on both sides, some star power. Get a chance to look at newly committed wide receiver Cam Coleman to the Auburn Tigers on Central Phoenix City. Caleb Harris committed to Auburn, the defensive back for Thompson. So those two might be going against each other.
Yeah.
Should be an interesting matchup other guys, you mentioned Trent Seaborn. It should be a really, really fun. I think Eden Thompson's or Central Phoenix City's quarterback, is he the one? Is he Trent? Is he committed somewhere? I can't forget.
Yeah.
That's not Lacey? That's not the one from. Yeah, that's the one from Ramsey or somewhere. I'm for sure. Or Clay Chalkville. I'm not sure. No, that's Bakwa. That's the one committed to Alabama. I'm sure. I'll figure it. There's tons of guys everywhere on that field tonight in Tuscaloosa that'll be playing somewhere next year in college for sure. All right, it's December the 6th. On this day, 1961, Ernie Davis became the first black athlete to win the Heisman Trophy. Tragically, of course, he was diagnosed with leukemia and never got to go on to play in the NFL.
Yep.
Was drafted by Washington, but then got traded to Cleveland, never played a down, but tragically he passed away. 1975 on this day, Archie Griffin. It says Margie because I did it voice activated.
Gotcha.
Archie Griffin becomes the only man ever to win back-to-back Heisman trophies. Will it ever happen again, JJ?
It will. It's not.
Been close. We've had opportunities, but never
Bryce Young
happened.
most recently.
Yeah.
Tim Tebow, not that long ago.
Yeah. Johnny Manziel came back and never,
Yep.
This year we thought Caleb Williams was going to do it. Never didn't happen. Happy birthday today, Tony Lazzeri. 1903, he's a Hall of Famer. Second baseman, has the distinction, the only man to ever hit a natural cycle and end it with a grand slam. The only man ever to do that. James J. Braddock.
Cinderella Man.
The Cinderella Man. If you ever seen that movie, good movie.
Yeah.
Russell Crowe. Otto Graham.
Quarterback.
One of the first great quarterbacks.
Giants, right?
I think Browns.
Browns, okay.
In the NFL. 1921 he was born. Wally Cox, born on this day, 1924. The voice of underdog. He was an actor, comedian as well. But Underdog, the voice of Underdog, 1924. How about Larry Boa? No, manager of the Phillies. Tough as nails kind of infielder. 1945. Joe Beth Williams, born on this day, 1948.
Been a lot of movies.
The mother from Poltergeist.
Yep.
I always thought she was.
I could see her in my, when you said
Yeah.
the mother from Poltergeist popped up. Yep.
I always thought she was nice looking. Joe Beth Williams. How about Stephen Wright?
Really depressing comedian.
Very funny though.
Yeah. Funny
He's
guy, but
got a very unique style.
very dry.
Yeah, very, very. I have no concept of time. 1955 he was born. Kevin Cash, born on this day, 1977. Kevin Cash, he's a musician. He is I can't remember now.
Is he some kind of nephew to Johnny or something?
I don't think so. I can't remember now why I put him on there. But 1977. I'll come up with it maybe later. John, how about we mentioned the aforementioned John Football?
Yeah.
Born on this day, 1992. Johnny
watch that
Manziel.
documentary if you haven't seen it on Johnny Manziel.
Pretty good.
Got to. Yeah.
I heard he's lucky to be alive, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because he was just
Off the rails.
out there, off the rails.
Yeah.
Very good way to put it, off the rails. And born on this day, 1994, Giannis Antetokounmpo. Antetokounmpo.
Good effort anyway. I
Thank
don't know
you.
if it's right, but good effort.
I appreciate it. The Greek Freak.
Yeah.
Born on this day, 1994, the year I graduated high school. Makes me feel old, JJ. Oh, well. It's going to wrap it up for us. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us. He is JJ. I'm Andy. So long for now, everybody. We'll talk again soon.